Do you want to paint in watercolors but you're not sure what to buy and where to start? Starting watercolors can feel overwhelming when you're trying to figure out what you need. So today we will go over the supplies you need to get started. Subscribe so you can continue to learn more about watercolor techniques and how to apply what I teach you. And stay tuned to the end of the video for bonus tips and tricks. Our first brush is going to be our flat 1-inch synthetic hair brush. This one is great for doing washes and glazing in large spaces. Our second brush, though optional, is another flat edge brush. It is a 1/2 inch synthetic. Okay, our next brush is a round 12 to 10 inch brush. This is a 10, and you need a 4 or a 6 round brush. These are not optional. These are going to be your workhorses, and you are going to use them for the bulk of your paintings. Please have 2 sizes that are fairly far apart in size. Our 5th brush here is our rigger or liner brush. It is also synthetic and creates a nice stiff point, which allows you to get very fine lines for outlining and detailing. Our 6th brush, also optional, is a mop brush. Now, these mop brushes are great for doing washes in large spaces or even smaller spaces if you so choose to get a smaller mop brush. These mop brushes allow you to fill it with lots of water. That's what all of these hairs, the more hairs, the more water your brush will hold. And these mop brushes are designed so you can cover large spaces, but also get down to a very fine point. These are great brushes if you are able to get one. These are my top recommended brushes for day-to-day painting. I hope this helps you find the brushes that you need to start watercolors. Let us move on to our paints. Grumbacher has a great variety of paints. They can come single tubes or in kits, and they are very affordable. Student grade paints are a higher quality than our Academy paints. Here we have a Daler and Roney. You can also get them in the Winsor & Newton Cotman brand. I did not have any and could not find any at the store, but I can link them below. You also have these other student grade paints, which I found in a local craft store. All of your student and academy grade paints are very affordable as you learn and begin watercolors. If you so choose, you can also decide to get your professional grade. They are more expensive, but the quality of paints is higher. A lot of your student grade paints, they will add 2 pigments or fillers to reach the color, so it won't be as vibrant or as saturated as your professional grade. So you have Sennelier, Danielle Smith, Winsor & Newton, Holbein, and M. Gran paints. I have used all of these and I do like all of them. These are my preference and what I work with. These are what I work with more when I was a student and starting watercolors to begin with. Another option is our pan paints. Unlike your tube paints, these will be in a liquid form. These have already been dried out and are ready to go. You just have to add some water to reactivate them. They are beautiful and great for traveling. Here I have a set. So you can buy them in sets or you can buy them individually. I recommend writing the name of the paint on the side so you can remember which one it is when you need to purchase another one. That wraps up our paints. Let's move on to paper. Unlike your paints or brushes, do not try to get by with cheap paper. I know it might seem like it will do the same thing, but it will not. Here is a Canson watercolor paper. Just bought at the local craft store. You can even get them on Dick Blick. Okay, the problem with these papers is they're made with wood pulp. Wood pulp does not absorb your paints or your pigments or your water. So it's just going to sit on top. And if you've ever seen this paint, it's very waxy feeling and the back is very smooth. It's just not going to absorb your paints or your pigments and allow them to stay and do what they need to do. If you are going to purchase a pad paper, I suggest you purchase a Arches or Fabriano pad. It is professional grade and they are made from 100% cotton. This one here is actually a hot press and is good for plein air painting. I also like to use it if I am doing illustration or animation. The paper I would suggest getting is your Arches sheet papers. It is made with 100% cotton and is superior to any other papers I have used. This made all the difference for me when I was learning to paint watercolors. I had used watercolors when I was in high school and I was using pad papers like Canson and Strathmore. It just didn't do it for me. When I went to college and I took a watercolor class, we were only allowed to use Arches or Fabriano. The beauty of this paper is you can actually get them in large sheets and then you can cut them down into whatever size you need. So you can actually get multiple paintings from this, especially as a beginner. As you start with smaller paintings, you are going to get a lot more with this paper. This, I don't know if you can see the whole thing, but this is a full sheet. It is a 22 by 30 inch paper. It is very large. If I cut it down, I can get about, I think, 8 sheets from it, 8 smaller sheets, which are great for practicing on when you're beginning watercolors. This paper will make all the difference when you are learning to do watercolors. It is so amazing how strong and saturated your colors become when you use high quality paper. Now you can order this both online or you can purchase it by the sheet in your local art store. I like to get mine in bulk. I buy it in packs of 5. That way I have a nice stock of paper. Time for our bonus tips and tricks. I have 2 of them for you today. The first one will be how to cut down your watercolor paper. A lot of you might think, I just grabbed a pair of scissors and try to cut a straight line. If you see how large this paper is, it's not so easy just to take a pair of scissors and cut it straight. You also don't really want to put too much on it, as it will cause damage to your paper. You want to put the least amount of contact with materials as possible, because you will get scratch marks and it will show up on your paper. Now, the best way I learned how to cut my paper, it's going to be so easy. You're just going to fold it in half. Okay, so I'm just going to match up my edges here. Make sure your edges are lined up. Okay, I'm going to hold this side down. We'll turn it this way. I'm going to hold this side down, and then I'm going to go to the middle and just push on that. See, I've got this crease here. Keep holding that paper. Sorry, I let go. Okay, so you've got it held down. Don't lift up like I did. Then you're just going to push it out slowly and fold it out that way and fold it out this way. So my edge is folded. I am now going to fold it the other direction, and because I already folded it, this side is going to be much easier to fold. Okay, the next thing you're going to do now, this might scare you, but it's okay. If you went through, now you're just going to tear it. Now I have 2 equal pieces, and the nice part about this is you get this beveled edge, just like the paper came. Here, see, it has this really pretty beveled edge. This will continue to give you that beveled edge instead of a straight line. And then you can go ahead and do it again to make a smaller sheet. Make sure your hands are clean when you do this. You do not want to put fingerprints or any kind of spots on it. But this is how you can tear your paper really quickly. You don't need scissors, you don't need rulers or a pencil. You just need clean hands and your paper. Bonus tip number 2. What are you going to put your paper on to paint with it? Because you need to tape it down. Go to your local hardware store and find masonite board. They are lightweight. This one is 1/8 of an inch. It came in a very large sheet. Ask them to cut it down for you. Usually they will do this free, if not for very cheap. I had them cut it down into several different sizes so that I can fit many different sizes of paintings. So this one is great for 8x10s and your 5x7s. As you can see, it is quite a bit larger, but this one is perfect for your 11x14 paintings. It allows you to tape down using both masking tape and watercolor tape. I also had them cut down this large piece, and I have some double this size. I was able to get 2 of each with the exception of the 8x10s. I believe I got 4 out of these. I hope this information was helpful as you begin your watercolor journey. For a list of all the supplies, check out my blog, linked in the description below. Question of the day: what supplies and brands have you tried and liked? And what did I miss? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you know when I post a tutorial on how to paint washes in watercolor. And until then, keep on painting!